So I'm here with Brad Stevenson, the developer of Aeries. Have I pronounced that right?
Aries, yeah.
Aeries, okay. Yeah, and there are quite a few Twitter clients for Windows Phone already. You must have noticed.
Yeah.
What went through your mind in terms of I need to develop my own?
Well, I think when I first started, as I was first coming to Windows Phone, I was coming over from iOS, which has some really great third-party Twitter clients.
Yeah.
And sort of saving red position, offline reading was really important to me.
Yeah.
So that was my main considerations. And at that point, like Tweeting, which is one of the great ones, hadn't actually come over to Windows Phone yet. And some of the other ones seemed to be outdated and were being actively abandoned. So that was sort of the motivation starting it.
How ready do you think Windows Phone is now at 2015 as a mobile OS for smartphone enthusiasts? Do you think it's still got too many restrictions for people, developers like you, and for users, or do you think the balance is about right?
I'm hoping for a lot more maturity in Windows 10. Yeah. But I like where it's Windows Phone 8.1 made a massive difference to me. I think that went from being very restricted to usable. I can use my everyday device now, and that's when I first made the switch over. Yeah. I'm still hoping for a lot more functionality in Windows 10. Interesting to see where they're going with the design as well. Yeah. It's
a constant battle, isn't it, between users being protected against themselves and power users wanting to do really powerful things. And it's a very difficult balance to get right. I noticed that Aries itself at the moment, this Twitter client you developed, and we'll link to that in the story, is actually all foreground. Nothing actually happens in the background yet to preload or cache tweets. Unlike clients like Peregrine, which admittedly is much more primitive in terms of an application. Do you think this might change in the future? What's your philosophy for background?
Yeah, so this is going to change in the very near future. I'm going to use this to do things like live tile updates, pre-caching, so when you open your phone when you're offline, you already have all your tweets loaded. You don't have to keep reading the old ones.
Yeah. To within 15 minutes.
Yeah. And I'm also looking at enabling background push notifications, which I feel is a bit of a compromise because I want to do eventually instant notifications. Yeah. But that'll be a good compromise for the time being.
Yeah. But the very least, you'll have people the latest images from your timeline and the number of mentions, the number of direct mail, all of that come through.
Yeah, exactly on the live tile. So that should be an exciting thing to see come to fruition.
How long has Aries been in development? When did you start this project?
It's been on and off for quite a few months now, so probably end of last summer, so September time, August, September time.
And you went through quite a long beta period, and unlike Microsoft, you did it properly, and you actually kept the beta testing the people who were prepared to beta test, not just the whole world. Well done.
Yeah, so it was quite interesting, but it was really good. I got so much great feedback, and it's really great to improve the application that way, I think.
Yeah, are you still getting feedback from the beta testers, even though now it's a public app?
So I'm still getting feedback that way. Still deciding how I'm going to transition beta testers over to the public version. Yeah. But it's still been on all the people who've purchased so far as well. I've been getting great feedback, which is some of the updates that are coming in the next few weeks. Implementing all of that. So that's exciting. Yeah.
So you've had Aries has been out publicly for now not much more than 4 or 5 days.
No. So we're now on Friday.
Right. Wow. So it's 3 days later. Can I ask if you're into the dozens, hundreds yet in terms of purchased applications?
It's well into the hundreds.
Wow. Yeah. In 3 days.
Yeah. It's doing well, even though admittedly it has got a higher price tag than its competitors. Yeah. So I'm really happy with that, but. Yeah, it's up to me to keep it going now, really.
What themes are available? This is a theme quite close to my heart. I love having all the different midnight blue, black, white, for the different types of screens, LCD, AMOLED. So what do you offer at the moment in Aries?
So at the moment there's white theme, black theme, which is good for AMOLED screens, and just a dark theme. You can also switch between using a phone accent colour or the standard Aries blue for tint colours. Yeah. I will be expanding on this in the future though, but I think they're 3 quite nice themes at the moment, and keeping it small means I can keep them well designed. But I will be looking to expand that.
What happens when you see an image in your timeline? At the moment, obviously, it comes up as the width of the phone screen. Mm-hmm. When you tap into the tweet details and you see is that image then the full Twitter resolution of whatever it is, almost screen width on a desktop, or is it higher?
So in the tweet details, it will be shown the same as in timeline. So it's full width. And
so you can pinch and zoom in, or you can't?
You can't do that in tweet details. You have to tap through to the image, and then you can, in the image viewer, you can pinch and zoom.
And then it's the resolution that Twitter hosted on, I presume.
Yeah. It's an interesting point that it could be made larger in tree details, I think, actually.
Yeah. So. And well, Twitter may change it at their end, of course, because presumably they host images at higher resolutions, and they decide to restrict it for user clients. So
yeah, it's, well, I've got a built-in functionality for rich media, so it can extract images from I should actually say it, Imgur. And other things like that. So there is a lot of built-in support for images, and hopefully that's going to stay into the future.
I tried to tap through to a YouTube video, and I was assured by your application that you could choose which YouTube app you wanted to use, but it asked me, and then next time it asked me again, and next time it asked me again. So I think
what YouTube app is that?
MetroTube and Tubecast Pro.
Yeah, so Tubecast has subscribed to MetroTube's deep link URI. So if you set to MetroTube, it will prompt to say, "Oh no, do you want to type this in Tubecast?"
All right.
So that developer needs to address that. I'll send them a message and see if I can talk to him about it, but it's quite annoying, yeah.
And SCP is someone else's problem, as they say in the trade.
Yeah.
Tell us about yourself. What's your main smartphone at the moment? What do you use?
So I've got a Lumia 1520, which is great. I've got it about last summer, and when I first had it in my hand, it was very big, but I can't go back now. And the battery life is fantastic on it.
Yeah. How do you carry it around? Jacket pocket or pocket trousers? Jean pocket.
Front jean pocket. Yeah.
And it never causes you discomfort. You never.
Not really. Luckily, I'm quite tall, so it fits in well with me.
What was your previous before that?
Before my 1520, I was switching between an iPhone and I was borrowing a friend's 1020.
Yeah.
But that was on my transition phase over to Windows Phone.
So you were an iPhone user up to what was your last iPhone?
iPhone 5, but I was using it while an iPhone 5S was out.
Yeah.
But I didn't make the upgrade.
Yeah. So why did you make the switch? That's a controversial switch. What made you to change?
I wasn't 100% happy with the decisions, like design decisions and iOS 7 and everything like that. I've always liked Windows, always had a Windows PC, and I loved the Metro design. So that was my first thing coming over. And then Windows Phone 8.1 coming out was sold it for me. So that was when I came in.
And you can tell what my next question is going to be. Given that you love Metro design and you don't like the decisions Apple's made, and presumably Android, with thick controls at the top left of the screen, and not being able to use the phone one-handed anymore, what this modern change Microsoft is making in terms of the introducing cross-platform design, how does that strike you? Is it a mistake?
It's interesting. I think it might be something they have to do. I feel like they need to stay focused with their design though, and not sort of make compromises so it can be everywhere. But it's going to be really interesting to see how it evolves.
Yeah, I firmly believe the tools should be at the bottom of the screen. Whatever else they do, those common functions have to be within range of your thumb, surely.
Yeah, I really agree. That's one the whole pivot system I really like. And the Windows 10 on the phone has got the new sort of tabs at the top on some of the system apps, which don't seem as accessible to me, but I'm sure they're going to keep iterating on it. It'll be quite nice, I think. Yeah.
So have you got the 10 technical preview for phones installed on a device at the moment?
On a device, yeah. I've got it on a Lumia 630.
Yeah, same as mine. You can wave that around. That's also
620 actually.
Okay. Yeah. Well, what's your opinion of the stability? I did a whole editorial saying I think they released it too early, but what's your view?
Yes, I'd agree with you. Normally I move really quickly onto new betas on my main devices, but it stayed on my background device. My gut feel is that they're about 2 or 3 months away from something they can really issue to the general public at least. Yeah, definitely. I feel like it ties in well with the very first Windows 10 technical preview. They were both really early. Yeah. Maybe it's not as stable, but feature-wise, I think it's going to be quite similar.
And you're running the Windows 10 technical preview on your laptop, I presume?
Yeah. Which I think is coming along really nicely now.
Yeah, I agree. They're still issuing updates at about one every other day, in my experience, but it's still very stable on my laptop.
Yeah. So I actually use it on my main laptop I develop on, and it's been practically fine. So, very happy with that.
Yeah, okay. What about the future for you? Beyond Aries, what's the next is there another project in the back of your mind?
I've got lots of side projects. I'm going to keep going with Aries till I'm very happy with how it is, stability-wise, feature-wise. Obviously, I've said I want to do instant notifications and universal app. Yeah. Only then I'm going to start thinking about really committing to all my other projects. Yeah. But pretty much all of them are Windows-based, Windows Phone-based. So yeah, I'm quite excited to start working on those.
You know, you can't say Windows Phone anymore after about.
Yeah, I know. I keep sticking with my tongue. It's confusing. Is it Windows 10 full phones now?
I don't think they've decided. It could change again. Anyway, thanks for your time, Brad.
That's been great. Thanks for chatting to me.
Right.